Welcome to the Page by Page Book Club. I'm your host, Paige Imprint, and I bring you weekly book club meetings wherever you get your podcasts. We're back! Yes, it's another week of book club. Another week to just chat bookish things to an empty room, and what more could I ever possibly want? Nothing. I'm living the dream, and I'm recording in the middle of the day, not the middle of the night. And y'all, I really am living the dream. I'm so happy. If you missed it, I was working full-time in corporate America, and then I was also working full-time doing this in author services and like bookish things. And I did finally turn my bookish business into my full-time job. Let's go. I have like 4-ish more weeks of transitioning out of corporate America. I'm working like 2 days a week right now in corporate, and then the other 5 doing my bookish business. But come August, we have our weekends back, baby. It's going down. And I am so thrilled and excited and grateful. And yeah, so this episode is my second ever bookish Q&A episode where I will be answering all of your questions that you dropped on a little Ask Me Anything on Instagram. I will say, these Ask Me Anything questions were from a few weeks ago. I thought I was going to do this episode a few weeks ago, and my schedule ended up being weird. So anyway, we're going to answer questions that you all sent in a few weeks ago. If you did not get a chance to ask a question, I will absolutely do another episode like this in the future. So keep an eye out for that, for sure. With that being said, let's dive right in. I'm going to keep all these people anonymous because I didn't ask if they wanted to be or not, and I don't want to call anyone out if they don't want to be called out. So, first question is, if I could create a book with, like, my dream tropes, what would that be? I love this question. I think it is so fun, and I'd never really thought about it. So, my dream book would be Friends to Lovers, always, and you knew that. It would have to be like my usual MO type of MMC, sweet, funny, but also in charge. Y'all know them. Weston Belmont, Rio DeLuca, Everett Ramos, Jet Ellison, that type beat. And then I would also want a very sunshine, kind, gentle, lovely FMC. And that is why I loved Rewind It Back so much. I felt it was pretty sunshine, and y'all know I love a sunshine moment. It doesn't happen often, but I just thought that they were both very sweet and lovely. I would love a bit of angst in the backstory, like just depth to the characters. And I hate to say it, a little bit of a dramatic past. Now, I don't wish that upon anyone, but I love characters with depth like that, so maybe that. But I haven't really named any like tropes. Romantic suspense, likely. I love me some romantic suspense. It doesn't have to be a cowboy, but as I've established in other episodes, like a Western gentleman. So he doesn't have to like legitimately wrangle cows as his job, but like ranch life, Western, that type beat, I think would be the dream. What else? Now that I'm talking about tropes, they're escaping me. Yeah, Friends to Lovers, sunshine, romantic suspense, a little bit of angst, small town, cowboy, that type thing. I think that's my perfect book. If you have any, holler. I would appreciate it. I love that question. That was really fun. What would your ideal book be? DM me, holler. Let me know, because I just feel like there has to be something for everyone. So yeah, maybe I'll do a little series if you DM me or drop a comment and let me know your ideal book, like build a book, like build a bear, build a book. See if I can't give you a recommendation for your perfect tropes. Fun, funky, fresh. Okay, clip it. We'll post it. Okay, tips for coming up with bookish content ideas. Love this question. The idea that everything is content is like a very common thing to say. Like, oh, everything's content, so treat everything like content. And I do, like, that's true. Everything is content, but not in the sense of like, well, I mean, yes, in the sense of everything you do every day, but also everything you read, every trope, every character could be content, every series. So like, I think most people are pressuring themselves to be abundantly creative, and I don't think that that's necessary. Like, if you love a trope, talk about all the books with that trope. If you love a book, just talk about the book. You don't have to make a video with 30 book recommendations in each. Like, I know I do that sometimes, but also the same day I might post a book recommendation just for one book. Let's use Chestnut Springs, for example, okay? There are so many opportunities in ways that I have done recommendations for Chestnut Springs. I've done a full video about the series. I have done individual videos about all 5 books in that series. I've done individual videos recommending if you like this MMC, you should read these books. I've done multiple videos, same thing for the FMC. I have done, if you like this trope, you should read these books based off of Chestnut Springs. Like, you see, when I say everything is content, I just mean every element of a book. It doesn't have to be this innovative, wild editing style, what have you. And then I always recommend to people, it's like whatever you either A, love to watch, or B, wish you could watch. Make that content, because there are a few things in my videos that I do in particular because I'm like, man, I wish more people did this in their videos, and I think this would provide me the best value as a reader, as a viewer, as someone stumbling across this video or searching up this trope and my video popping up, like what would provide them the most value. And I try to use that mindset with all of my content as well. When I say everything is content, from the characters to the book itself, to the series, to the tropes, to quotes, to like side characters, like the setting, every little bit can be turned into a video. And so I would milk your books for all it's worth. And then if a video performs well 6 months ago, remix it. Don't do it bar for bar, like word for word, but it's like, do it again. Maybe you'll have more recommendations this time or something different. So anyway, does that help? I hope so. That's kind of how I do it. Someone asks for a single mom book recommendation with a dark past. I'm looking at my shelves here. Broken Harbor by Catherine Cowles is going to be a single mom with a dark past. She is like kind of living under the radar in a small town, owns a bakery. Her husband has gotten into trouble and is and she's kind of running from those people that he was in trouble with. So that's a suspense with the dark past. Almost like very, very similar is Beyond the Thistles by Samantha Young, another romantic suspense. She's an American that has moved to Scotland on the run from her ex. So that's a single mom with a dark past. Protect and Honor, the last 2 books in the Sky Ridge Hotshot series, both single moms. Both have like instances resulting in them becoming single moms. Neither of them are particularly suspense books, other than the fact that their MMCs are part of a very, very dangerous career path. But those are some single mom with a dark past. What Saves Us by Maggie Gates is like not his baby, so she's like an immediate postpartum mother. Wicked and Wildflower by Sarah A. Bailey. She has moved across the country to kind of escape her dad. I'm like looking at my shelf, trying to get you some here. Juniper Hill, Devaney Perry. She is starting a new life in a new small town and is living in the apartment over this like town chef's garage, and he's super grumpy. She's kind of trying to start a new life. But those are some single moms with dark pasts. Hopefully that helps, and that's good. If you have any other recommendations, holler with those. I got another question recommending for my ratings and reviews on books. I did a very long spiel on that last episode about just the fact that I do not rate and review on my social media platforms. What I did not say though is that I do rate and review on rating platforms. I just don't rate and review on social media platforms. So if you're interested in my rating and reviews, and I'll be honest, a lot of my reviews are just very positive because I like being happy and smiling and sunshine and positive things. So a lot of my reviews are very positive, but if you want my ratings, you can find those on Goodreads, Fable, and Storygraph. If you're in the market for that, I just will not post them on my social media. And also, I'll warn you right now, I'm giving out 5 stars, dude. I do have like a rating rubric, but specifically on Goodreads, like I always round up, always. And I read for empathy and entertainment. I live in the 4 and 5 star zone unless something particularly bothers me. So I'll just warn you right now. And everything I post on my socials are 4 and 5 stars. But if you want my like full reasoning on all that, you can go back to the last episode. It's like within the first 5 minutes. Someone asks if I can talk about the author work I do. Sorry if you've already talked about it. No worries. It's my job. I'm happy to talk about my job. I'm living the dream. So the premise of my business essentially is like the author is the only person that can write their books, which is like duh. But it's like other people can run other elements of their business while they pour their effort into writing the books. And so what I do is I help authors take a look at their business from like a very high level understanding of like what are the pieces they have in play, what systems are working, what systems are not working, how do we optimize those systems, what is top priority, what is being of detriment, what is causing them stress, like all of these things, and do kind of a audit on their business. It's a whole big intense process, and from there we decide strategically like what are the things that would make sense for me to take on from your business or someone else to take on from your business, and kind of alleviate your stress a little bit. Not only alleviate your stress, but be sure that you are doing things that make sense for your business, that help you grow, that help you achieve your goals, strategically planning out releases, like all of those things. So there's not much I don't do. I used to say I don't do social media. That's becoming increasingly untrue, but it has to just kind of make sense with where I'm fitting in the business. So I do influencer relations for some people. I do data and calendar and communication management. I do some social media management. I do alpha beta reading. Really, your wish is my command. So that's kind of my author business. I have a little bit of availability opening up, but I am almost full, which is kind of wild, but it's very exciting, and I love everyone I work with, and it's just a dream come true. I love doing this as a job. I just think it's the coolest thing ever. So someone asked for my overrated, perfectly rated, and underrated books by authors, and I've done this before, and as you all know, I will not tell you my overrated books because I only do positive content, and none of my girls are overrated. They just couldn't possibly be overrated. But how about I do my first, favorite, and next books by authors? Would that work? I think that would be good. It's kind of the same thing. Not really, but also kind of. Okay. I'm just going to go through my shelves and see the people I can find. We'll start with Elsie because she's right in front of me. My first Elsie Silver book was Flawless. I started the Chestnut Spring series from the top. My favorite, I would have to say, is Wild Eyes. I love Weston. I love Skylar. I love the plot of that story. I just think it's great. So Wild Eyes is my favorite Elsie Silver book. Catherine Cowles is right here. My first Catherine book was Whispers of You. And crazy enough, when I was pulling up my archives for this episode, I realized that I read Whispers of You a year ago today. Crazy, because y'all know how I'm on that Catherine Cowles train. So Whispers of You was my first. Oh, I didn't do my next for Elsie Silver. My next is going to be her next release because I'm all caught up on her backlist. Okay, Catherine. My favorite Catherine book is, I think, Fractured Sky from the Tattered and Torn series. I just love that book. I love it. I love it so much. I think the characters are so unique. Top notch. And then my next is going to be Chasing Shelter. I'm all caught up on her backlist. My first Victoria Wilder book was Peaks of Color, the very first book in her Riggs family series. My favorite is, this one's really hard. Probably Bourbon and Lies. Probably. But Bourbon and Secrets is like right there. Bourbon and Proof is my favorite Marriage of Convenience book. Hide and Peak is incredible. So yeah, unreal. I love it. And then my next Victoria book is going to be her next series. So love that. Molly Goins. My first Molly book was Despite It All. And I love that book. My favorite book is also Despite It All. Well, yeah. Despite It All, Picture Us, and Coach Me are all like hand in hand, neck and neck. And my next read is going to be my reread of Coach Me because I alpha read that and I will be back to read the arc. So, love Devaney Perry. My first Devaney book was Indigo Ridge. My favorite, I've read like 28 books by Devaney. I think my favorite, Sable Peak. I just did my reread of it. I wept. I just love it. It's everything to me. So we'll go with Sable Peak. My next book is going to be her new series that's coming out later on this year. Oh, wait. My favorite is Shield of Sparrows. Sorry. I'm staring right at it. I don't know how that happened. Okay, one more. Samantha Young. First Samantha Young was Beyond the Thistles, but I do not recommend you doing it that way. Please, I keep saying this online. You need to read the Adair family series first. And so again, my favorite is Here With Me, the first book in the Adair family series. But my next book by her, she is releasing a brand new romantic suspense series, and I think it's my most anticipated read of the year. One of my other questions, we'll just jump into that. Okay, yes. What is my most anticipated read through the rest of the year? Samantha Young's new romantic suspense series. I love the way Samantha writes romantic suspense. I love it. I love it. I think her Adair family series just will always be a top series of all time for me. It's unreal. They're all set in Scotland. And then the Highland series is set in the same small town that the Adair family series is, and the Adairs make a ton of cameos in it, which is so fun. And that series is great. But we are moving to the Scottish Isles now instead of the Scottish Highlands for her brand new series. The first book is called Half-Light Harbor, and I am just... This is not sponsored. I'm just so excited about it. Nothing has ever been sponsored on this podcast, but I feel like I'm like going on and on about this book. So I am just so excited to be back in a Samantha Young romantic suspense world. So that's very anticipated for me. The final book in the Sparrow Falls series is very anticipated for me. I'm trying to think of like what else is coming out this year. I don't know that we have any other like confirmed dates of books that I haven't read yet. Oh, well, y'all, I have Reckless Roses and Vice and Violet sitting in my Kindle library. She is sitting there waiting to be read by me, and I am telling you, I am not in an emotional state to it. It's like so anticipated for me. Y'all know how much I love Pacific Shores, and Sarah and I have chatted about this, and she's like, you're gonna cry, and I'm like, I know, dude. So very excited for those. But those are some anticipated releases for me. Fun. Someone asks if I have read the Bourbon Canyon series yet by Walker Rose, and if so, what did I think? I have not, but I would love to. It is on my TBR, and y'all know I love me a small town moment. So maybe we do some anticipated TBR series. Would that be good? Let's do that. Yes, Bourbon Canyon, Men of Clarence County by Tilly H. Colson. The Beaufort Poker Club series by Maggie Gates is like top freaking priority right now. Carrington Cove by Harlow James. I'm actually reading that this month on audio. I'm halfway through Real Life, Real Love by Kay Cove, and I'm so excited to finish that. I'm currently reading Selfie by her, and Kay's just... Oh, no one writes like Kay Cove. She's so good. She's so good. So those are kind of my top priority TBR series at the moment. Oh, and Corinne Michael's entire backlist. Yeah, but hey, July is going to be my month. Let's do a little accountability check, shall we? Because I really, really, really want to read again. And I know that's silly, but last month, at the time of recording my wrap-up podcast, I had only read 4 books. I finished with 7, which was great. But, I mean, I was reading 18 books a month before I started this job and all that. And, like, things change, and it's beautiful, and I love my job and all that. But it's because I was just working around the clock to get this business off the ground. And now that it is off the ground, officially, finally, it's happening. I'm reading again, dude. I used to average half a book a day. And I'm not going to push myself that hard, but I am hoping for 2 a week minimum. 2 a week. We're going to try in July. I will see you in a few weeks, and we will figure out if that actually happens. What is a book that you don't talk about as much as you would like to, but you really love? I love this question because sometimes I feel like I absolutely devour a book, and then I'm like, wait, why haven't I been talking about this? I felt like that used to be In a Jam because, mind you, I read In a Jam in July of 23, and I feel like I didn't start yapping about In a Jam on the internet until 2025. And so that was important. And honestly, while we're talking on the topic of In a Jam, In a Rush was phenomenal. I don't talk about it enough. It was way more spicy than I was expecting. But okay, Kate Canterbury, proceed. Fun. It was such a fun read. That both of those books. Why haven't you read them? What are you doing? Why haven't you read In a Rush and In a Jam? And really, you need to get caught up right now because 2 more books are coming. Let's get a move on, people. Get caught up, please. Another one I do not talk about enough is Here and Now by Corinne Michaels. I love the suspense. I love Miles the MMC. I love Penelope the FMC. She's a single mom on the run. She's in hiding in this small town. He falls for her. It's so good. I love them. I love them. I love them. And so, like, he hates coffee. She works at the coffee shop. He gets coffee from her multiple times a day just to see her, and then literally throws it away. And, like, she can't date, and because of, like, you know, all the situation that's going on with her, and she's like, I can't date. And he's like, okay, well, then every chance encounter I have with you is now a date. He's like, we're on our 6th date, and it just happens to be a run-in together, and I don't know. I just think it's the cutest thing ever. So, not talking about that enough. My Silver Lining by Laura Pavlov, I think, is the creme de la creme best fake dating romance ever. And I don't talk about it enough. More specifically, the audio was out of this world. It might be one of my top audiobooks of the year. I thought it was so phenomenal. I love that story. It is like if an alien arrived on planet Earth and was like, I need the perfect romance book, like just quintessential small town, wraps up the small town romance reading experience in a book, it would be My Silver Lining. I don't know why I don't talk about this book more, but it is so good. So good. I loved it. Yeah, so those are some like books I don't talk about as much as I would like to. Someone asks, what do I do when I do not want to sit down and film a podcast, video, etc.? I do it anyway. I know that some would say that that's not the right thing to do, especially in an effort to eliminate or avoid burnout. However, this is my job. And to an extent, I think the way that you continue on your content creation journey is to do it anyway. Especially if you're in the market to make it your career in some capacity. I say you just have to put one foot in front of the other and do it anyway. Do it tired, do it uninspired, do it frustrated. Give 100% of what you have to give. So you don't have to have 100% in the tank, but if you have 20%, you better give your 20%. If you have 110%, you better give 110%, but that's kind of just how I approach life, is like, I'm going to give this all I have, 100% of what I have to give. And it's an effort to have this as my job, and now this is my job, and I'm living the dream, and I am crying on the internet because I'm so grateful. It's just like, yeah, so my advice for like what do I do when I don't want to record is like, do it anyway. Do it uninspired, do it tired, do it without ideas, because showing up, consistency, community, like that's what matters. So I know it's not the greatest answer. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's nothing wrong with stepping back. Like truly. Like I used to post 3 times a day every day. I'm consistently doing 2. I eliminated vlogs. That's a whole thing. I'm not doing them anymore. They were such a heavy daily lift, and they weren't engaged with very well. Anyway, y'all didn't ask about that, but I know some of y'all are religious vlog watchers, and I still will vlog, just not every single day. So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But like, you can take a step back. You can take a breather, you can take a break, but if you are in the market to maybe pursue this as a career, I would just one foot in front of the other every day, even if it's slow, even if it's heavy, even if it's hard. That's my advice on that. What book or series would you love to see adapted into a television series or movie? Great question. I've answered similar ones before, but I think that there's no better series to be adapted into a movie or television series than The Bourbon Boys by Victoria Wilder. I just think it is prime television. Prime television, primed for the big screen. And then also, I really do feel like Molly Goen's series, The Boston Blues, would be the next Friends if it were adapted into television. The found family, the humor, the characters, like just everything about it. I think it has all of the makings for a relatable 20s, 30s television show. I don't know why. So for more of a drama, I would recommend, or I would want to see The Bourbon Boys, but for more of a like sitcom, Friends style, like you're still like, emotionally attached and there's all these things, I would say The Boston Blues by Molly Goins would be complete and utter perfection. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I know this episode is a bit short, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm recording this episode yesterday if you're listening to this on release day, so you girls gotta edit. Okay. The last question is, what am I currently reading? What a lovely question. I am currently reading, I just finished Honor by Danielle Baker today, and I am switching to a new audiobook. I haven't decided yet. I think I have a few in my Penguin Random House audio app. I was actually just in a fight with this app and I had to cut it out because I thought I had problematic summer romance in here, and that did not look to be true. But I do have one golden summer in here, and I do really want to read that. So I think that might be my next read. I really do want to read problematic summer romance though, but it's saying I don't have it downloaded, or I don't know really what's happening. I can't quite tell, but yes, I think that will be my next audiobook is One Golden Summer, and I have a feeling I'm going to be obsessed with it, so prepare. And then on ebook, I am reading Hank by Tilly H. Colson. I'm so excited. I'm going to start it tonight. It's going to be beautiful. So those are my current reads, and that's going to be it for this episode, I think. A little quick episode for you, but better than no episode. And I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to edit this right now. So if you're not, hello from yesterday. I hope you are having an absolutely incredible summer so far, and that your summer reading by the pool is everything you dreamed for it to be and more. If not, if you have not read by the pool yet, you need to. You deserve it. Do it. And yeah, thank you as always for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.